I'd like find my.
All right, I hit record. I hope it records sound and video. That's the first time I'm recording on it.
I think it does. I think you'll probably find.
Robbie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good, bro. I'm excited, man. I kind of want to, in my mind, I want to intro you like, are you garbage?
Welcome to another exciting edition of Are You Garbage? The show where you find out if your favorite comedians are classy individuals or absolute trash. Now, here are your hosts, Kevin Ryan and H. Foley.
Hey, everybody out there, and welcome.
Like, hey there, hi there, ho there. We got.
Hey, you ever jump off a hot air balloon to get to your uncle's pool party? Get your garbage.
You may have seen him on Legion of Skanks. Da-da-da-da. Oh man, that's so funny to me. But what's up, bro? How you been? How is NY?
It's good, man. It's cold, so I've barely left my apartment the last few days. Just like go to the gym, and I did a roast battle the other day.
Winner, put your hands together right now for Robbie Goodwin. Robbie, good to see you. What's up, Steven? How was your New Year, man?
It was good. I laughed because what Dan said is also what a lot of my transgender friends say. You know, one day I just had a dream I had pink hair.
Oh yeah, you got that life-affirming hair dye. I guess so. That's good. What are you expecting tonight from tonight's battle?
Guys, I think this might just be yet another Dan Wicks fiasco.
I think I've heard that before. I'm excited for that.
Ryan's a gay man who loves listening to Taylor Swift, Miley, and Lana Del Rey. He's been to Fire Island and loves iced coffee and spicy margarita. It's like weekend. Okay. It's like you're like medically gay. We get it.
I'm just so happy you're here and safe tonight, Chase. Chase's voice is so annoying that even Hamas didn't want to hold him hostage.
And we got one for Chase. Robbie, what do you think?
This was awesome. I love two guys you wouldn't know were gay until they start talking. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, I thought you guys were going to go up there and talk about Modest Mouse. And then I was like, this is more of a Lana Del Rey duo up here. That's funny. You guys look like you would storm the Capitol to steal candles. You know? Yeah, it's funny. You guys both. It's funny because the slightly gayer sounding guy was a little funnier. So is there a coordination? You know, the sassier, the meaner, the funnier. I think that's what it is. So I'm gonna have to give it to you.
All right. So that's two for Chase, Bill Schaefer, and Chloe Gooder.
People think age gaps are problematic, but it's not his fault. All the women his age have already divorced him.
For Halloween this year, Chloe was the Terminator. Not because she's a badass, but because all her lovers wish they could slowly lower her into a badass.
It was fire, you goof. Alright. I'm so glad you made that reference. Bill's so old. When he started improv, Yes and was called Verily Henceforth.
Oh boy, Chloe is so white and pale that when she gets ghosted, it feels like cultural appropriation.
I don't think they both look like divorcees. I think she looks like a divorcee, and that's the rebound boyfriend, you know? Where she's like, what do you think about that, Stan? You know what I mean? Yeah, this looks like a local reporter interviewing an NBA player, you know? So what was your mentality going into the fourth, you know? You guys look like a graphic designer and his boss who doesn't know much, but is like, Christmas wasn't long enough, huh? But seriously, we're going to need that by Friday. Yeah, this was fun, man. This was great. I don't know. This was like delightful. It does felt like you guys should start a podcast and never roast battle again. No, I'm kidding. That was great. I'm going to give it to you.
For Manny Cruz.
So what I'm trying to say is this spent his whole summer yelling at buses that brought migrants here, like, get out of my swamp! Right?
Manny comes from a single family mom situation. He doesn't have that. Yeah, single parent. That shit. And, he didn't have that strong male Latino influence in his life, Like which gang to join, MS-13, 14, 15, razor blade, switchblade. But she was a strong woman. Can take on 2, 3, 4 men at a time. But she's an expert gangbanger. It's a little wordy.
Okay, there's a good fight between the two kinds of Breaking Bad characters. Oh man. This looked like Big T roasting the DoorDash guy he knows by name. It's funny you did all racist jokes, because if even the most racist boss, if they interviewed both of you, they're like, yeah, of course, Manny, every single time. But I love Big T so much, every time it feels like a little boy in a Make-A-Wish, all grown up. My favorite part was like, that was a little bit wordy, I get it. It was, and it was very funny you selected a wordy joke, but Big T, your strength is not your writing. I'm going to say that right now. I love the enthusiasm. It was great. I have to give it to Manny, I think, overall.
That was cool. That was fun. But yeah, it sucks when it gets that. Where are you based?
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit. Sorry about the Pistons, man. I was watching all those games when they were losing a lot. It was like more entertaining than anything else going on in the rest of the NBA.
Yeah, man, I actually just went to a Pistons game last week and they lost so bad.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised.
I really don't. I don't care at all. I don't care.
Yeah.
Even the slightest. I literally just went down there for like the ambiance, bro. I'm Dominican.
How was it?
Oh, it was good. I'm
Yeah.
Dominican, so I'm way more about the baseball.
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that about you folk.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. Who's the baseball team in Detroit? I don't really follow baseball too much.
The Tigers.
Oh, right. The Lions, Tigers, Bears. Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, but the Lions actually, I don't exactly know, but I think like we played today and we might make the playoffs or the Super Bowl or something or something.
Yeah, I think you guys actually might face San Francisco if you went today, which is where I'm from. So
you're from San Francisco?
Yeah, I'm from the Bay Area, not from the city itself.
So my sister, my oldest sister, Angel, she lives in Sacramento.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I have a ton of friends in Sacramento. Oh, yeah. Sacramento's cool. A lot of but it's cool.
Awesome. But yeah, dude, how is what's it called? Is it Billionaire Digital? Ching 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 ding.
That's Dalton. That's Dalton's thing, but I do love that.
I love it.
I think the tag is ka-ching bing 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 fill her up. Oh no, it's ka-ching bing 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 dee 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 fill her up. And yeah. So yeah, I think that's going well for him. I just started a new podcast with Wolfgang Hunter. Well, it's the same podcast, but I just added him as a co-host, and we're doing it at Grove 34, which is like a cool comedy club in Astoria, and it's been really fun so far. I'm, still need to like kind of build up the views again and the downloads, but it's off to a good start, and I have a good small chunk of hardcore fans who are kind of sticking with me, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's good. So when you say it's a new podcast, is it the same like? Is it going to pop up on the same feed as your old one though?
Yeah. I got all the Young Guns stuff in the divorce. So yeah, it's the same feed and same yeah. I mean if you followed Young Guns / Robin Figs, it's the same feed and yeah. And yeah, so yeah, definitely, it'll be good. We just had Andy Haynes on. That episode's coming out tonight, and we had JP McDade next week, and yeah, it's been going fun. It's been just fun to like be in a in just like a cool atmosphere, and the club's really getting behind us, which is nice. So yeah,
so So you've been recording every episode out of the club, actually?
Yeah, they have like this cool little backspace, and so one of their owners is named the one of the guys who runs the club is named Scott, and he's like really good. Scott Hall. He's actually a very funny comic, but he just is like really into like filming and video and making stuff, and he was really like kind of gung ho about like doing the podcast with me, because Gas Digital kind of like they like raised their prices, and I was like, well,
boxing a lot.
Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
It's a very tough sport. But jiu-jitsu is just you're just going into it going, even if I'm kicking somebody and I'm doing great, my body is kind of being wrecked.
Something always hurts.
You're like, yeah, you're like, you see your knees get a little rickety and your shoulders are a little bit jangy and fucking your fingers are always in pain. Your fingers, your toes feel like you're stubbed always.
And it never ends, so you'll never have fully enough time to heal.
Look, there's scratches because my training partners didn't cut their nails enough. Like that's just naturally part of what it is. And you have to accept that. And
workout though.
It's a workout. It's just legitimately, it's the only thing that I've done that feels like a superpower. That feels like, if I was getting into a fight in the street, I would know some where, like, if that guy didn't know it, I could really handle myself.
Right.
Whereas boxing doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, things have to line up, especially because every fight after like 10 seconds goes to the ground pretty immediately.
Yeah, I mean,
so
maybe.
it's like
And look, it just depends. We talked about this recently. It's like you don't want to go to the ground if you have 2 or 3 guys that are coming at you. Or you're in a bar fight with a bunch of people. You know, you want to be able to handle yourself standing. But with jiu-jitsu,
that's what I do in Muay Thai with. It's great.
When I'm doing Muay Thai or when I'm boxing, I feel like a fraud. When I was boxing and training for that fight, I'd be boxing against, and the whole time I'm going, oh, this guy doesn't know jiu-jitsu. I could take him down, and I could choke him out pretty easily, and this seems kind of silly. All right, whatever. We're going to wrap this one up. I got to go because I got to get back to do the Legion of Skanks Friday Night Hang pre-tape. Usually I would do a longer show today, guys. I love doing the longer shows lately, but I got to get back to Jersey pretty quickly. You guys are the thank you guys for watching. We'll be back on Friday with an exclusive episode of
live.
Yeah, we're doing live because we didn't pre-tape. So live real life podcast on Friday. Make sure you guys tune in and make sure you guys go and buy those tickets for SKNKFEST today, those pre-sale tickets for the kickoff party and all that.
Remember,
shit.
5 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern. All right, goodbye.
I don't know what I'm gonna do, and he kind of swooped in like right at the right time. And so, there's a bit of like, my views dropped a little bit just because I think there was like a lot of time in between and we weren't uploading regularly. But now we're on like, I think, a more consistent schedule.
If you guys are interested in increasing the dopamine in your brain, right, for an affordable cost, why don't you make sure that you get it from Kratom Spot? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. KratomSpot.com is the most affordable place to get your Kratom. If you're interested in utilizing Kratom, right? And if you don't use it now, don't start using it. We're not promoting that. But if you like to go to a gas station and waste your money, spend extra bucks, quit doing that and go online and go to KratomSpot.com. All right? Use Kratom Spot.
So that's good.
Yeah, what do you do? Like, what do you do when it comes for like your promotion? What do you do when it comes for your views? Because when you say like we're getting better and this and that, like what is your strategy when it comes to it?
I don't know. I was actually kind of like, I mean, my main strategy is kind of like going on other people's shows and having good guests on my show. But yeah, otherwise I was kind of like, I was actually just like YouTubing the other day, like how to grow a podcast and stuff. So, but I think the show is funny. So it's like, I hope like just if the show is funny, then the people will find it and be into it.
Right. And I like it. I watch your show. I've seen it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, man. I already heard you talk about the gas digital prices and got the on. You know what I mean? I already know.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That was
That's interesting though.
I was podcasting with Dalton when that happened. He's like, man, you can't catch a break, and that's a lot coming from me. Like, all right, yeah, true.
Dalton is he is such a like for me at least, he's organically very funny, just like his aura. Like you as a comedian, when I watch you, You're funny to me. Like you're funny because of your punchlines, because of your voices. And it's like you thought about it and delivered it.
Right.
I don't get that much from Dalton, but I don't necessarily need it. It's fine.
He actually has that too. I think he's like kind of, that's why he's like a weird like double threat kind of, because he is good at like coming up with punchlines and saying stuff and riffing, but he also just acts like a crazy cartoon character. So that's why people love, like he's like, he feels like he's a fictional character when you're like talking to him. So that's why people, I think, really respond to him.
Yeah.
My favorite was we just did a Zoom podcast with Nick and Dalton.
So yeah, how about Get Hard Out, and it's Get Out, but with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart.
Right. Okay,
that's cool.
Yeah,
or it's Get Hard Out, where a white woman abducts a black guy to just get him horny.
Will Ferrell puts himself in Kevin Hart's body, so he won't have to go to jail, but then he immediately gets arrested for a crime he didn't commit.
Yes.
That's
I think
the
this
movie.
Is good.
That's the movie.
Good. You could also get Hard Day's Night, and it's just the Beatles all whacking each other off.
Why? Yeah, you know what? That'd be good. Yeah, Get Hard Day's Night, and it's a Beatles gangbang.
Yeah. That's just the whole movie. I'll bet that exists somewhere in some like 60s British gay den.
Yeah.
It's so funny that the Beatles, somebody else said this, but the Beatles did like invent gooning. Like they were just like taking psychedelics and beating off.
That's why they're called the Beatles.
That's
where they got the name, from all the beating off.
What if we spelled it after what we love to do?
And I was, this whole conversation makes me think no one has had the balls in Hollywood yet to do a body swap movie, but where it's a white person and a black person that switch bodies.
Mm-hmm. Haven't they?
I feel like that's
that's trading places, basically.
Yes.
And they actually, I think there is a movie where somebody, it's not that they swap bodies, it's that he wakes up as a black man.
Oh, that was a Little Dicky video. Remember that?
Oh,
yes, there is a Little Dicky video.
It's that Rob Schneider. It's that Rob Schneider movie, The Hot Nig.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's it. Yes.
Did you see the sequel where he becomes an Asian?
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick. Take it away. Run it back.
It's like jazz. It's about the slurs you don't say.
I heard that was his pitch for the animal, and they were like, "Rob, you should just make it a literal animal." And I mean, it was the same exact script and the same exact. That's how he thinks black people conduct themselves.
Yeah. Good God. How about Deuce Bigelow, male Nigolo? Folks, welcome to the show.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Nick Oldershaw?
Yeah, Deuce. Yes.
How about Deuce the Right Bigelow? And
we'll get started here in a minute.
It's a male man whore going around to racist pizza shops. The owners.
Yes. Yeah, it's Rob Schneider having gay sex with Danny
Aiello.
Danny Aiello. I was about to say Paul Dano. I was about to say Paul Dano, but it's Danny Aiello. I got him confused.
How about Paul Danny Aiello? And he's like, I'm the joke over here.
Imagine if it was Paul Dano. Turn the speakers off.
Yeah, that's kind of what they did in There Will Be Blood, because I feel like that character is very against type for Paul Dano.
Yes.
Well, that seems like that'd be more of like a...
You know that he had to prepare for that role in like 2 days.
There Will Be Blood?
Because he was supposed to play the brother.
He was just supposed to play... they weren't supposed to be twin brothers. He was just supposed to play the guy who tells Daniel about the oil, and then the guy who was supposed... And funnily enough... And that character was named Paul. And the original guy who played Eli, I think his real name, everybody had their own names. And the guy who was originally playing Eli got fired. And Paul Dano took over the role. And I don't think that guy has been in movies since then. I think it kind of like shook him away from like working in the industry.
That's a funny way to describe movies, though. Everybody had their own names. It's like, yeah, I think every character has their own name.
No, but everybody, but like Paul, Daniel, Eli, they all like their characters had.
Oh, you mean they had the actors' names?
They had the actors' names.
Oh, okay.
wow.
I thought you were like,
wow.
each character had a name. It's like, yes, you know, that happens a lot. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So Paul Thomas Anderson wrote it like you write a sketch in like like in UCB, like, all right, Robbie says this, Dalton says this.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. Nick and I were talking about the Jim Downey episode of Conan, the podcast, and Jim Downey is in There Will Be Blood because Paul Thomas Anderson like loves him. And I think I forgot what this. Did you get to that part yet, Nick?
No, but I only listened to the 11-minute clip where they were talking about Norm, and then it flipped over to a different episode.
Okay, well, if I recall, Paul Thomas Anderson offered him a role in There Will Be Blood, and I think Jim Downey thought he was like with him because he's not an actor. And like Robert Smigel, I guess, like had to like knock on his door and be like, "Hey, why are you blowing off Paul Thomas Anderson?" Like he had to like call. He's like, I might be with the story, but it's something like that where he like almost wasn't in it because he just thought it was like a bit.
That's so funny. Yeah, like, and I think the same thing. Like, Paul F. Tompkins is in it. Paul F. Tompkins has like 2 lines. He's the guy who runs out saying, "Mr. Plainview, Mr. Plainview, come back."
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that Daniel Day-Lewis like screamed in his face. That's so nice to imagine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, his bow tie spun around.
and
yeah. His cigar exploded and his bow tie spun around.
About movies, and he said Steve Zissou, the Wes Anderson movie, and just in my head over and over I kept going in Dalton voice, Steve Zissou. I don't know why he just Steve Zissou.
Goofy. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of ask you, because you know what, I was just personally wondering, what is the scene like when it comes to the clubs there? Like, yeah. What about them specifically? Cool. Yeah. So what I'm asking really is like, all right, so like I'm just gonna tell you, so like in Detroit, right? There's like maybe 50, 80 different clubs, a bunch of comedy clubs specifically for clubs. Yeah. Picture it like that. And then picture like they're all like 27 to 40 minutes from each other. Right?
Whoa. Okay.
Maybe only 10 collectively downtown are actually next to each other.
Gotcha. Okay.
House of Comedy, Fox Theater, Little Caesars Arena, stuff like that.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Okay. So here, like, there's comedy podcasts that spin off of comedians that do their stand-up, right?
Right.
Like, they do stand-up, and then they have their little friends, and then they make a little podcast or whatever. And for me personally, it was the other way around. I got into podcasting, the digital comedy skit stuff, improv stuff first.
Right. Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I can try, I guess, a minute.
Right.
And then just kept rolling from there.
Yeah, I've never done comedy in Detroit. Is it a good seat? Like, do you guys have good? Are the shows good, and like, are audiences good, or do people go out to see stuff?
Well, here's the biggest thing, right? Like, what do I have to compare it to? I think they're good. They're good for my so like I said, there's like 80 different clubs. You can hit an open mic every single night.
Punishment? Like, not just take your phone away. I mean, like, real, go over there for a long time. Do we have that? Go in your room and don't come out. You still, how old are your children? Oh, school teacher, yeah. Y'all niggas are the heroes. Y'all the first responders. For real, y'all the first responders. Emergency children are a catastrophic emergency. Seniors in high school? How many of them come in there smelling like weed? All of them or half? Depends on the day. These niggas getting high as Anybody else a teacher? First responder? You? Well, yeah. What grade you teach? High school and adult ed. Young stupid and old stupid. Damn. Anybody ever taught elementary? Like little kids, like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, anybody, or middle school, you taught them too? On your way up? And I bet you the adult kids is worse than the little kids, ain't they? The singing is worse than the little 6th grade.
Like in my phone,
Oh,
I have
cool. That's
open
great.
mics all through my like set. You know what I mean? But like to actually drive to every single one and all that.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's all you need. That's cool, man. Yeah. Is there the House of Comedy there? I've heard.
Yeah. How's it coming?
I heard that's a good spot. Yeah. So to answer your question, though, yeah, what is great about New York is there's just so many different kinds of shows, and then there's a lot of places to do stand. If you want to do stand up, you can. I mean, it might be open mics, but there's just so much comedy going on everywhere. During and after the pandemic, before the pandemic, there was a lot more, but I think it's like kind of getting back to where it was.
What I'm asking you though is like, so like Gas Digital, right?
Oh yeah.
Did Gas Digital, when you went to a comedy club, did you hear about them, or did they emerge from the comedy club?
Yeah. So I was like kind of familiar with them even before I moved, just because I was like really into like I like listening to like Town, and they would talk about Gas Digital a lot, and so that's how I kind of like got to know all that stuff. I would say they are kind of a presence in the scene, but they kind of like when I got here, like I actually hung out at the Creek and the Cave like a lot. Oh, you know what? Also, before I moved here, I did a roast battle in LA that Big J judged, and Christine, it was back when SKNKFEST like was more about like the email submissions, and she told me she recognized me from a submission and thought I was super funny, and even showed Big J my stand-up. And Big J judged a roast battle and thought I was super funny. So then I visited New York, and he kind of took me around everywhere. And so that was kind of how I got to like, that was like kind of my first introduction to those guys. So I kind of had a good like foot in. And also I did a lot of the roast battles. And at the time Lewis ran Roast Masters, which was a big show. And they kind of like gave him a heads up that I was good and to book me for that. And I had a good appearance. And then I hung out. Yeah, I guess there was a lot of crossover with like the Gas Digital stuff, and especially the stuff I did when I first got to New York, because I hung out at the Creek and the Cave like all the time, and that's of course like where Legion of Skanks did their thing, and yeah, and then they did the New York Skank Fest, which I got into, and I did Real Ass Podcast a couple times. Yeah, I think it was kind of like a bunch of things that kind of like got me on their radar. And yeah, they used to have, I think, a bigger presence in the local scene. Like I don't see those guys as like around as much, like just doing stand up. Because they used to be like very synonymous with like the Creek and the Cave and like Roast Masters. But now I think it's like they kind of are more just at the stand, and then the stand kind of like that crew all kind of like is like the feeder into Gas Digital stuff.
And what is the stand?
The Stand is a comedy club. It's in Union Square. I'd say it's like one of the biggest ones in the city, if not number 2 to the Comedy Cellar.
Okay. And the Comedy Cellar would be the number 1?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So that does make sense. So what I found interesting, though, in the beginning of that, you submitted in the beginning, correct? So you saw some type of comedy submission, and then you took the initiative to do it?
Yeah, I think I was familiar with it just because of, honestly, I think it might have, well, everyone I think knew about SKNKFEST. Oh, because it was like all this online drama between Lewis and Corey Spencer. I remember, and I knew Corey from San Francisco, but also
everyone knew that in San Francisco.
Well, Corey was a San Francisco comedian, and I was like friendly with her, and I was like, and then there was like this little like, I don't know, do you remember this? It was like she started a show. SKNKFEST started because she started a festival that only women could apply. No, it was like men had to pay more for their submission fee to submit for the festival.
What a
and
con.
Lewis was like, I'll start a festival where no one actually has to pay to submit. And that was SKNKFEST. It was SKNKFEST started as like a troll basically on Corey Spencer. And then he did it and he pulled it off and it got a lot of buzz. And then like Cumtown was like huge at the time, and they did a bunch of SKNKFEST stuff too. And I think that kind of like raised their awareness a lot more. And then, then Lewis got more successful in his own right, and all those guys. Then that whole thing kind of like, and then Shane got bigger and kind of all that stuff. And yeah, so it's funny how much it kind of grew and blew up very quickly. But the first one I remember, the whole thing was anyone can submit for free, and I submitted, and they actually watched it and thought I was funny, but I didn't get in.
To Skanks? Is that what it's for, to be in Skanks?
No, it's SKNKFEST, the first SKNKFEST.
Oh, you didn't get into the first one.
No, but Christine watched it and showed Big J, and that was kind of like my intro into the world. I would say that's like that was like the first thing I did that kind of got them aware of me.
Fire. Yeah, man, it's funny because like you know, watching that whole thing from afar, like I know that it's quite old or whatever. But like if you look at like Gas Digital and their revenue stream, like online, if you look at it, like their actual high amounts of revenues, they didn't really make no money at all until like the last 3 years. So like the revenue stream was $10 million, right?
How do you find this?
How do I find this information?
Yeah.
Online.
Oh, it's online?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, everything's online. Anyways, so I mean, I'll tell you how I got queued off to it. There is a interview with the big, you know, the giant Ralph, the ugly ass Jew guy.
Yeah, Ralph. Yeah.
So Ralph,
we got Violent J from Insane Clown Posse. He's gonna pop in and do a minute of stand up on SDR.
Today we're gonna.
All right, guys, we got the bassist from White Snake coming in today. Everyone, we gotta need all hands on deck.
Yes. White Snake is too mainstream. Make it more obscure because that's what it is. It's some shit I never heard of.
Hate like metal bands.
Garbage, dude. I'm like, bring in the porn whores.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah. So he was doing an interview with Mark Cuban, right? So Mark,
we got the drummer from Rat coming in today. We got the drummer from Rat coming in.
Right. The manager of Gore.
We got Tommy Lee's brother coming in today. Everybody.
Tony Lee. Oh my God.
Lee.
But you know, he's talking with Mark because Mark's like appraising his business on like how much it could be worth over the next 5 to 10 years. So he's breaking it down a little bit, and they cut certain stuff out, like the original jump that they had and stuff or whatever. But I took that revenue stream and then I cross-referenced it with the amount of views that all the Gas Digital collective gets, right?
Right.
To see how much of their money is coming in through views, how much of their money is possibly coming in through advertising. I guess my question is, how do you live in New York doing what you're doing and you're not doing this? How do you make money as the little guy?
Oh, still have to have day jobs and stuff, basically. I don't make a living off comedy yet. Hopefully someday.
Okay. And when we say a living, do you have all right? So like, let me give you an example. I got booked in Grand Rapids to do a 15 minutes, $145, bro. Fastest money ever made in my life.
Great.
So like, do you have any? But that's nothing. I'm still poor. Super poor.
Sure. No, that's great.
You know what I mean, though? I'm saying still poverty. Do you have any of those things occurring, or is it just full like you're grinding in New York, dude?
Yeah, I think it's a little easier if you're not in New York. More paid stuff kind of comes a little easier outside here. There's not too much paid stuff. Like even the big dogs have to leave New York to make money, honestly. Like, I think the seller pays like $50 a set or something, which is pretty good, but I think the clubs pay fine, but I think you really do need to like be touring if you want to make a living, or I think so, because I have friends who are like rich off comedy who you might not even know, but I think they mostly make their money from like touring or opening for bigger comics.
Shout them the out, dog. If I don't know him, let the world know.
Like I think Maddie Smith makes a lot of money.
I know Maddie Smith. With Maddie Smith, dog.
My name is Maddie. Yeah. I don't want clout. Yeah. I want to know if you can blow my back out.
Yeah, she's great.
Little flat booty redhead girl, gorgeous. Couple of pancakes.
Maddie. Yeah. I think she makes a good living off that. I'm not super tuned, but I assume like that kind of level all are doing pretty damn good. So yeah, it's funny. It seems close, but also kind of far, if that makes sense. Like it's close because I know a lot of people personally who are making a good living, but it can be like a little hard for me to like see how to make that leap to that.
Right. And I find that the interesting piece of the puzzle, I guess. And also I notice y'all don't ever be talking about this, right? Like me, I can't help it. I turn my podcast on and I gotta about my day job or how I just got fired from canvassing. Like I wish I had the restraint to be like, I gotta take this job at Burger King and this, but I don't. But I do notice.
You don't have to work at Burger King. That makes you count your blessings.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's because everyone's insecure about their status here, and I think everyone's kind of like trying to like act like they're already a big comedian, so they don't talk about their day jobs that much. Especially in New York, I think they're like, you don't want to like look like an open micer or whatever. But
kind of, bro.
I know. I'm open about it, but I'm also not farther along.
Right.
So what are you gonna do?
Also, and then like there's a degree to me too, because like for me it's like it's funny to talk about, and I know for a fact that the majority of my listeners are middle class,
right?
So is actually lower class now. They are gonna relate to my struggle.
Yeah, it makes people. It will make people root for you, and I think if you're open and honest and vulnerable, the right people will like you. I think it's just comics. All that stuff I'm not talking about your day job and stuff, that's for the other comics, just to be like, oh, maybe that guy has something going on, Because unfortunately, a part about like ladder climbing is you have to kind of like act as if you're doing well, or I don't know. I'm not good at it, but this is what people tell me. They like kind of just like manifest being they just act like they're a bigger comic or they're a famous comic. And then it works out for them, or it convinces people who don't know too much better.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. You have to have a piece of like delusion in this game. You have to.
I could use a little more delusion, I think. I'm too like, that's why Dalton and I were kind of a good pair, because he was too delusional. I was too critical or too pessimistic. So it was a good balancing act.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I've only seen one podcast with you guys interacting with each other. I mean, yeah, like I said, he just seems like a cartoon character, and then you got the bits. Maybe it's different, but I do know this. Yeah. I know that the Young Guns, when it comes to Figs, bro.
Yeah,
that's what that like. So I love Figs, but Figs is hype man. Figs is Lil Jon in the East Side Boys. Yeah. So like you're like you and Brendan Sagalow are like two of the most talented comedians from like the Detroit viewing of whatever you guys are. Right. We just call it to us like you're all Gas Digital. You know what I mean? Like that's really like the umbrella.
Yeah.
Even though I know you're not or whatever.
No, I mean, that makes sense. Like, because like I think most of my fans are kind of from that world. So, and and there's like little, I think everyone is like, oh, he's just like in the universe of the world. I'm just a part of it a little bit. And I know what you mean. Because it's funny because I think Sagalow also doesn't like, I don't think Sagalow would be like, I'm like a Gas Digital guy, but I think because he's on those shows a lot and in the universe, if you don't live in New York and you're not attuned to what everyone's doing, that's what you're. He's one of the Gas guys for sure.
I was go
I like Sagalow too, by the way. I just saw him the other day at New York Comedy Club.
Who? Oh,
Brendan. Yeah,
dude. He came to Detroit one time, bro, and ate the whole time, bro. It was so. But listen, it wasn't his fault at all. It wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember what his material was supposed to be about, but there was like these two pretty girls, right? Black and white, and Vanilla and Chocolate sitting over there. These was talking full conversationally. You know what I mean? So the whole I don't know what he did. I don't know how long he was. I think he was up there for like 40 minutes. He was the headliner of this little thing or whatever, right? All he did was just like try to get them to shut up. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah. That's tough. That's a tough one. Yeah, I hate those hecklers that like just won't stop.
I loved it though because he like looked at he's like, do you guys he's like, you guys want to hear these girls keep talking, and made the eye contact with me, and I just gave him nothing, just full smile and didn't give him a thing.
Right, yeah.
Like, continue.
No, Brendan. Yeah, sometimes you gotta sweat up there.
But so when it comes to like the metrics, like do you follow like your views? All right, so like I pitch my podcast to companies for sponsorships, right?
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So I'm real versed in my metrics. Like I know that I average 4,000 to 10,000 viewers every week. I know like the lows, the highs. I know my viewers are predominantly men 17 to 32. I know that they're heavy beer drinkers. They're college students. Like, you go ahead, tell me, talk to me.
Oh yeah. No, I used to be way more about that. I kind of just like check it once in a while, but I could be more like I would say like once every couple weeks I check it. I think it's probably I think what I saw is it's all men about my age, which makes sense, but yeah. But yeah, I don't know about pitching. I don't really pitch to too many advertisers, and I have no idea if they're beer drinkers or not. That's pretty interesting.
Right. I'm not. Yeah, I don't think your people are going to be exactly like my people or whatever.
Yeah.
But for me personally, that was great because males from 17 to 31 are like the highest demographic of spenders.
Yeah.
So it makes it really, really profitable to have that.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's why that's why they're like a coveted demographic.
Yes. But like what I want to ask you really is like, how do you plan on, like, I don't know. Here's my thing, bro. I think I'm around the same age as you, right?
Yeah.
Right. So I do comedy. I'm a comedian. I'm a fucking loser, brother. Yeah. I'm a guy, to my mom and to everyone, majority around you, right? You're a creative. I'm a creative.
Yeah.
So there's this mad drive inside of me because time's ticking. Like,
yeah,
I have to make money off this. I have to.
Right.
And I kind of just wonder. Actually, I wonder all the time when I'm listening to you. I love you. I literally listen to your show all the time. Like,
thanks, man.
What's the move? And I just think if I was in New York, my bills would be higher. I'd be crazier, and I'd be like figure it out.
Man, I don't know. I had a plan. I don't know. I've been kind of just like, I kind of got like hit with a lot of setbacks this year. So
talk about it. Tell me about it, brother. Preach.
Well,
Evan Essence over yonder, wonderfully playing with each other, handling business, rudimentary things happening at a tremendous level, monetary confinement, moratorium. These are all just a few things that are tied in to your mental health. And when you're dealing with your mental health, make sure that you choose BetterHealth-Therapy.com. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. BetterHealth-Therapy.com is one of the most trusted online therapy agencies to date. Fantastic work. Let me tell you a little something. When you go to BetterHealth-Therapy.com, not only is it going to change your life, you got to make sure that you use the Randy Savagery Show QRL code. And that's provided down below in the description.
Well, yeah, Figs kind of like left the show, and that like kind of like, and then like right after that, like my girlfriend broke up with me, and then I lost my job, and then my girlfriend broke up with me. So I kind of like went through pretty serious depression for a few months, and I was actually kind of reluctant to even start a podcast again. I mean, I'm glad I did. It's kind of cool to like, I feel like I have momentum again. But yeah, so I'm kind of just like, and so then, but then the whole gas thing happened, and I had to like find a new studio, and we were still just kind of like getting down. Like, I think now we're finally on a regular schedule, but it took a while. So right now, I think I'm just trying to like get momentum and just kind of remind the audience who I am. And then, but yeah, as far as making money, I don't know, man. This is what kind of like gets me a little down, is just like I don't really see the path right now. Like I don't really know. Like just try to like get my social media up, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I don't you know, I don't know. This is what kind of like, yeah, I just don't I don't want to like whine about comedy too much, because it's like, boo-hoo, you're chose to do this thing or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm an artist or whatever, but you know. So yeah, I don't know, man. If you have any tips, tell me, because I could really use like some help just like figuring out like, you know, what's going on.
Well, what I will do is
how to
I'll
make
tell
money.
you-
I don't know how to like make it anymore. It's just like, okay, I don't really see, you know, I have a good solid following, but I don't think a lot of podcasts have like popped off in a while like that. And you know, as far as stand-up goes, there's so many comics. I don't know. I'm getting a little you know, bummed out about it. I just don't really see I don't really see too much of a I don't even know how people make money doing stand-up anymore. And nonetheless, I don't really see a lane from, I'm like, what is my lane in comedy? I don't know.
I like this though, the dark side. Succumb to it. It's okay to be sad, bro, and it's okay. And you say you don't like to be crybaby about whoever has something to say about them, bro. All that. Say whatever you want to say, bro. No.
Yeah.
And for real, like I said, I will tell you those things off mic, because no one else talks about it, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Un momento. Yeah, no one else talks about it, so I'm not talking about it. But I'll tell you. You know what I mean? But I guess my biggest question for you after that is, what did you think you were going to make money on comedy in the beginning? Before
I started, I thought I was going to get on TV, like get on SNL or something.
So why is that not your path anymore? I guess. Like, let me give you an example, right? I don't particularly want to be on SNL. I'd like to be on SNL. I think it'd be cool to be on Mad TV, if it even exists anymore. But it's nostalgically better to me, right?
Yeah.
But so like I'm in like the 9-9, bro. Like I take 9-9 acting courses because it's basically like a cult, right? It's a little community of people that think they're pretty and they want to be in movies. But what it does is that it gives me hundreds and hundreds of emails. So like I'll be in one of those meetings, right? And people will be like, oh, I don't know, or where do I go to do this? Where do I go to do that? And I'll leave it in the chat. I'll say, yo, stop interrupting the instructor. Guys, here's my email. Email me. I'll give you the blah, blah, blah. So, you know, picture 50, 30 people at minimum, they email me. I don't even know what it is that they wanted, brother. But now I got their email. And now they get the Randy Savagery Show. You see what I'm saying? Like, these are pivots that I, as I stalk Gas Digital's digital footprint, right?
Right.
Because, what's his name? Ralph. So Ralph won't talk to me. You know what I mean? I know he knows me. He acknowledges me. He'll see me talk and blah, 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 whatever. But he won't give me any of the goods. So I have to just get the goods because they're all there. Every view, every comment, every single thing is either reflective of a real human, a bot, a paid service, a bump tied to a different podcast. They all have funnels.
Right.
Every single one of them have website funnels. And it's funny because I hate Ralph a little bit in my heart for this.
Right.
But then also I kind of love that because I feel like I have to learn it. Like if he would have just told me stuff, then I wouldn't be able to just look at someone's channel.
Yeah. And it's also like, it's like your path, I think, is going to be much different than Ralph's too. So you might as well just learn it yourself. But yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's why I try to like get, you know, I'm sorry to get back to you, but yeah, that's why I try to like respond.
You got back to me. He's here right now. What is he talking about?
Yeah. See, yeah, but I also don't run a business, so maybe it's part of his strategy by not getting back.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're more of a hustler than me, and you are. Yeah, you could probably give me some good tips on all that stuff. So yeah, I wish I had more of that instinct. Like you seem to have it. If I had like a little bit more of that, because I don't know. Yeah, I like that you like trying to find solutions. I'm just kind of just like, yeah, I'm gonna try and be a little bit more like that.
Yeah, that's fine. And if you don't be more like that, just hang out with people like me. Whatever, who cares? You know,
Yeah,
what I mean?
there you
It's all
go,
about how
yeah.
you move and shake. But what I'm trying to say is, here's the thing though. Like real quick. So like, it's just that so you're like the path, right? My path is different. All our paths are different. But here's the bottom line. There's a specific amount of money that Ralph put into the company, right? May it be $100,000, may it be 8 million, may it be 50,000. But that number was allocated to his media costs, his actual daily functions, his promotions, his marketing, and those things are the recipe, right?
Right.
To create a successful podcast network. And the thing is,
hi everybody listening to The Thing Is. I'm Shannon. Thanks for coming back to join us.
Do you like ghosts and ghosts? Do you have fights and fights in? Do you have bad dates in? Do you like ghosts and ghosts in?
Oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh, the thing is, oh.
Is that is your path, my path, Joe Rogan's path. No one's path is different. The digital diaspora is the same path for every single person, right? I'm being 100% honest. Like what me and you just did right here, this is no different than the Joe Rogan version or the garbage. Like if you're a cheese ball, if you're a corn ball, or if you're super philosophical and you're a steroid head 100 millionaire, bro, you make money from advertisers.
Right.
You make money off of ticket sales.
Right. Yeah.
That's it. In the seats and companies monthly paying you for you to go, yo Kratom, yo Delta, but they slip up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Especially Lewis. Lewis gives tea out all the time on accident. Just trying to make little funny jokes. He'll be like, anybody who sends me $2,600, I'll promote him. So boom, right there.
Just give me free tickets to Sum 41. I'll promote you.
Yeah. But when he drops those numbers, I know that's a number because it's a number off the top of his head. It's a real number, or at least in the range that an actual sponsor is paying. Right. May that be his marquee sponsor? I doubt it because they're probably paying the most money. Or may it be like Waterboy or whatever? That's probably the low end. Because the value in sponsorships, like even people like Gas Digital and stuff, they mix stuff up. They'll say stuff like this is an ad and this is a sponsorship. Those are two totally separate things.
Ooh, okay.
What Tim Dillon does, that's a sponsorship.
I was a child and I was eating a breakfast cereal and it had lots of sugar in it. I forget which one it was, but it was colorful, sugary, and it made me feel like I was a king of the world, you know? Mm-hmm. I was eating that cereal in my house, and I was a victim of a brutal home invasion. Did you know this?
I've never heard of this.
Did I tell you about this home invasion? Mm-hmm. There's a brutal home invasion, and I don't know why you're laughing. It was very traumatic for me. Now, the men came in. The men were masked. They had masks on, and not COVID masks, ski masks. And they came in and they had guns. And I was very scared, but not that scared. And they grabbed my mother by the hair and they put a gun in her mouth. And that would have upset me more, but she was being very nasty that morning. She was being very rude, very nasty. And there was something about kind of seeing that. I was still scared, But I was kind of like, it's good that everybody gets a little comeuppance, if you know what I mean. And then they hit my father with the butt of the gun in the back of his head, and he fell down. And then they looked at me, and I looked at them, and I was just frozen. And they said, "Keep eating that cereal." They said, "That's some good shit." I said, "Thank you." And I said, "Are you going to kill my parents?" They said, No. What's wrong with you? We're just robbing the house. I'm like, well, you might as well get rid of them, right? They said, no. And they left. And my parents woke up, and we went on about our lives. But I remember sitting there eating that cereal and having them point at me and going, "You keep eating that cereal, king." They said, "You're a king." I was like, "That's right." I wanted to recreate that feeling, that great feeling of watching my parents get attacked while I ate a sugary cereal. So what I do is I go to magicspoon.com/Tim Dillon, because Magic Spoon is so healthy. It has 0 sugar, 11 grams of protein, and only 3 net carbs in each serving. There are 4 flavors: cocoa, fruity, frosted, blueberry. It tastes amazing. Honestly, too good to be true. It's keto friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, low-carb, GMO-free. I love the fruity flavor. It tastes like Fruit Loops. So if you go to magicspoon.com/Tim Dillon to grab a variety pack and try it today, be sure to use promo code Tim Dillon at checkout to get free shipping. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. But everybody likes it. Everybody likes Magic Spoon. We have it all over the place. We eat it. And I like it because it reminds me of my childhood and the great memories. I remember that. My mother was like, you better do better in school. And then the door opened up and they just gun right in her mouth. And I just kind of looked at her like, "What were you saying? What were you saying about school? What were you saying about school?" And my father comes in, "What's going on?" Right to the ground. And I appreciate those men, because those men recognized in me, they saw something in me. They saw potential. They saw a leader. And they said, "This guy should just eat his cereal." So they pounded me out. They're like, "King, it's back when you could pound. You didn't have to do that dumb elbow shit because of COVID." They pounded me out. Magic's.
If you've ever seen how organically he puts his ads in, you forget. You're like, is this an ad? For 5 minutes.
Tim, it's funny that Lewis brands himself as kind of a bit like he's the businessman. I think Tim's the real good businessman. He knows how to make a lot of money. You cannot take that away from him. The man knows how to make money.
Yeah, Tim, he owns the intellectual property to his likeness and speech. I tried to have ChatGTP write me a tweet in his cadence, but my actual joke, it wouldn't allow it. And I said, why? Said, why? It said he owns the intellectual property to it. I was like, no way. Dog's on the ball. You know what I mean?
On the ball. Yeah, that's very true.
The biggest thing, though, here, Robbie, is that this has been fantastic. Go ahead and plug your dates or plug anything that you got for him, because we only got 2 minutes and 46 seconds left.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you after, bro. You're super, super funny.
Thanks, man.
Hustlers and funny guys, we link.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope I wasn't too depressing here. Sorry. I just woke up like an hour ago. So I'm in
You were a sad.
Oh, sorry, man. No, I just have those days. Okay. What about Rob podcast? I'm in the roast battle tournament at New York Comedy Club. I think the next one's on the 29th. I'll be at QED on the 25th. And follow me on social media, because that's usually where I post spots around New York and stuff. No road dates right now, but I might set something up in the spring or summer. So keep a lookout for all that.
All right, Rob, we end this the same way every time. I want you to look into the camera and I want you to say a phrase or just one word that will last on this forever. By the way, we don't do this all the time. I just stole it from Santino.
Okay. Okay. All right. A word or phrase that will last on this spot. All right, here we go. this was an original thought that my mom actually told me when I was a kid. She said, Robbie, you ever robbed someone for sweatpants money? If so, then you're garbage.
Your mom sounds fat, baby.
You ever, hey, Robbie, you know you're my son, but you ever steal the sauce from a barbecue?
All right, cut it. That's it. That's a wrap, baby. All right. Thank you, brother.
All right.